Welcome to the Brand Like a Boss workshop. In this workshop today, we're going to cover how to start your own brand, how to name your brand, how to define your brand, how to build brand assets, how to develop your brand style, clarify your brand audience. We're also going to look at steps to launch your brand on social media. And then we're going to craft and create your $1 million brand statement, your $1 million brand promise, and your $1 million brand tagline. This is going to be such an incredible class or incredible workshop that we're going to be having together. So I need you pen and notes in your hand so that you can take notes wherever you feel the information is something that you need to put down so that you can go back to it. This class is going to have a Q&A section. So once we wrap up the main workshop or the main class, then we're going to have a Q&A session where you're going to be able to ask me questions, and I'm going to respond based on the questions that you ask me. So once again, if you are on social media, if you are going to be distracted by anything around you, do well to make sure that doesn't distract you. Do well to reduce the distraction that you're going to get for the next 2 hours. This is going to be a 2 hour class, and then we're going to have 1 hour for Q&A. So here are the things that we're going to cover today, like I already read out to us. The learning outcome for this workshop: at the end of the workshop, you will be clear on what a brand is. You will be clear on what a personal brand is. You will be clear on who and what your brand is. You're also going to be clear on how to turn your brand into a business and how to start and launch a brand online. So my name is Emily Wale-Koya. I have trained over 3,000 entrepreneurs in the last 5 years since I started my journey on personal branding and being a business coach online. I've been in business in general for the past 16 years, but for my online business and my personal branding business, I have been doing this for the past 5 years. I'm a certified personal branding strategist. I'm a marketing and peak performance coach. I work with international clients. I command fees in dollars. I've earned over $200,000 doing this the last 5 years. So in case you are wondering, why am I the one to teach you this? Why should you believe in me? Why should you pay attention to me? These are just a few of the things that I'm putting before you so that you can listen to me and take what I'm going to share with you today seriously. I want you to put your heart here. I want you to put your mind here. I want you to put your eyes and your ears here, because we're going to be sharing so much to get you to inject your own brilliance into the world. I have done this from scratch. I have done this with no godfather, with no godmother in the industry, with no friend in the industry, with no senior person in the industry. I've come all by myself into this space, and today people refer to me as Nigeria's personal branding strategist, the go-to, the number one, the lead, the pioneer, the god, the queen. Okay, this is not something that was conferred to me by a title because I went to school for it, but because I understood the system, I understood the era that we operate in, and I decided that I was going to work it no matter what happens. And today we're here. People listen to me, people pay me. I charge fees of over $2,000 per client to work with clients for 12 weeks, which include 12 sessions. So it's very important that you listen to me because I actually know my onion. So, brand like a boss, this is the workshop, and we are starting right now. To get started, I would quickly love to define or explain what personal branding is to you, because that's what we are going to be covering here the next 2 hours. Personal branding is the practice of people marketing themselves and their careers as brands. Personal branding is the practice of people marketing themselves and their careers as brands. The ongoing process, the ongoing process of establishing a prescribed image or impression in the mind of others about an individual. So personal branding is the practice of you and I marketing ourselves as careers, and our careers as brands. The same way you have a Coca-Cola, or the same way somebody walks into a McDonald's to buy a burger or to buy fries or chicken wings. That's the same way we want to position you as a brand, so that people can buy what you sell. What you sell could be services, it could be digital products, it could be physical products. It really doesn't matter which of the type of product you sell. All right. But what matters most is that you are building a brand, you are building a reputation, you are building something that people begin to know, like, and trust. They take you seriously, they buy what you sell. And that's actually why we're here today. So, once again, what is personal branding? Personal branding is the practice. You practice it. Okay, you do it every single day. It doesn't happen overnight. So it is the practice, it is the repetition, it is the process, it is the concept of people marketing themselves and their careers as brands. People marketing themselves and their careers as Nike. People marketing themselves and their careers as McDonald's, as BMW. Okay, as Mercedes Benz. People marketing themselves are and their careers and their businesses and their brilliance and their expertise and their knowledge. People marketing these things, you and I marketing these things as brands. And so you want to ask yourself, what is a brand? A brand is a unique promise of value. Okay, a brand is anything that is distinguished in the marketplace. A brand is something that is unique, that brings value to people. So you begin to market yourself and your career and your brilliance and your expertise as a brand, as a unique promise of value that people need to pay attention to, as something that has value. It is the ongoing process. So it is a continuous process. It is ongoing. You keep getting better, you keep evolving, your brand keeps evolving. So it's an ongoing process of establishing a prescribed image or impression. Prescribed image or impression. So you look the same way over time. You speak the same way over time. You show up the same way over time. You appear the same way over time. So your logo stays the same way over time. Your colors, your font, your visuals, your voice tone, the same way over time, so that you can make a lasting impression in the mind of others about yourself. Here are personal brand examples that you are very familiar with. There's Jeff Bezos right there. There's Kim Kardashian and her sister. There's Beyonce. These are brands. There's Oprah Winfrey, very popular. There's Gary Vee, he's an entrepreneur, very, very popular. There's Tony Robbins, also very popular. So these guys, these people, these individuals have been able to carve a niche for themselves. They've been able to build a personal brand that gets the world to pay attention to them, to listen to them, and to pay them, to give them their money, to take them seriously, to treat them as they treat physical brands, company brands, product brands. The way they treat Gary Vee or Oprah Winfrey or Richard or Jeff Bezos, that's the same way they treat Nike, that is a world-class brand. So, but personal brand is not a product per se, it's not a physical product, it's an individual. So your personal brand or personal brands are individuals. So most of us are used to product branding, company brand, corporate brands, which are logos, which are physical products. But personal branding has to do with the person. It's a human being. It's a person. Because in the past, all we knew was product brands and business brands. But the way the world is today, individuals are now marketing themselves as brands. Individuals are now positioning themselves as the go-to person, as the go-to source, as the go-to brand, as the go-to product, as the go-to authority or expert for what they do. It's no longer just you being in a corporate organization or working at a job or having a career and being an employee somewhere. It's about you now building a lifestyle, a business that is authentic to you. It has to do with your gift, your uniqueness, your brilliance, your talent. your authenticity. So personal branding is so powerful. This in this era or marketplace that we are operating today, you cannot ignore it. Now, here is one singular reason why you must brand. I'll show you other ones, but this is so important because right here you see a plain cup, a white cup that has no branding on it, no name, no color, no nothing, and it has coffee in it. And you see another cup, the same cup, and it has the same content, coffee, but it has a brand on it. It has a name on it. It has a logo on it. There's a color there. And you can see that the one that is white and plain, it sells for $1.25. The one that has a brand on it, because it has a brand, because it's known, because people trust it, people like it, people know it, people talk about it. It does a track record for it. It makes people feel a particular way. It sells for $3.25, $2 difference. And that's really huge. On the other side, you can see two bar soaps. One is plain, it has no branding on it. It's just a normal soap. It sells for 0.45 cents. Then we have the one that is branded, sells for $2. Clear difference of $1.25, $1.15, $1.15, $1.55 cents. So this is a reason that is so vital to help you understand the power of a brand. Because and then when it comes to personal branding, you can have one coach or you can have one expert who they both do the same thing. They both teach the same thing. They both sell the same thing. But one is charging $100 for his or her service. Another one is charging $1,000 for his or her service. The same thing. Why? And people pay the person. They pay the one who sells $100, but they even pay the one more who sells $1,000. Why? It's the power of a brand. It's the power of branding. It's the power of becoming the go-to person for what you do. It's the power of embodying confidence and boldness and putting your stake in the industry. It's the power of going out there and marketing yourself, your career, your expertise, your knowledge, your business as a brand so that people can take you seriously. So here are other reasons why you must brand. Branding helps you position yourself as an authority. Branding helps you differentiate yourself from the crowd. It helps you build credibility. People would pay you because they trust you. So when people hear your name, they just go, oh, give her the money. Oh, work with her. Oh, invite her to the conference. She should be the keynote speaker. Oh, pay her what she's asking because you have credibility, because you have a track record. You have shown that you can be trusted. You have shown that your expertise, you have it in full control. Branding also allows you to showcase your specialty. When you're building your personal brand or when you embrace the concept of personal branding, you have the power and the chance to showcase your specialty, to showcase your expertise, to showcase your brilliance. It has never been this good because all we knew back then were product brands, company brands, business brands. Nobody was branding an individual. Nobody. And then when it became known, it was simply for celebrities. It was for artists. It was for musicians. It was for actors and actresses. But today, everyone who wants to promote himself or herself or her career or her expertise or brilliance as a brand can get a slice of the pie. Branding allows you create a name for yourself as against you creating a name for just a business that you run. So let's say you run a Montessori and that you're there, you're the brain behind the Montessori. You're the owner, you're the visionary of that Montessori. And all we know is the Montessori. We have no idea who you are, how powerful you are, how gifted you are. No idea how you can change the world, how you can change our lives. So when you're building your brand, it allows you to create a name for yourself. So tomorrow your Montessori might no longer be available due to something that maybe gets it out of the market, pushes it down the drain. But your name, your brand will always be here. As long as you live, matter of fact, your brand can be so powerful, your personal brand, that even after you exit the earth, your brand continues to open doors. Steve Jobs, the popular Steve Jobs that we know, he's been gone over how many years? But his name, there's no way you mention Apple. Even without them mentioning Steve Jobs, in your head, you already know the creator, the founder, the strategist behind the brand, product brand called Apple, or the company called Apple. Personal branding, when you brand, it allows you to leave your own mark. You don't have to do it for a business anymore. You don't have to do it for your corporation or your organization anymore. You do it for yourself. You leave a mark. You leave your own mark, not the mark that you're leaving because you went to school to study for it, not the mark that your organization wants you to leave. You leave your own mark, not the mark that your business wants you to leave, but your own mark. What is the dent you want to make in the world? So when you brand, it allows you to do that. So here are a few questions that I want us to pay attention to. What type of impact do you want to make in the world? So I need you to start writing at this point. Okay? What type of impact do you want to make in the world? So if you ask me, I'll probably give you my own example. I want to be able to impact 1 billion lives with my words, with my voice, with my brand. I want to speak in every country in the world before a particular age. I want to speak life to them. I want to wake up dead dreams. I want to charge people's destinies. So this is the kind of impact that I want to make. And that's why I do everything that I do. And that's why I speak the way that I speak. Okay, so what type of impact do you want to make out there in the world? I've just explained my type of impact. So what kind of impact do you want to make? I want you to think and I want you to start writing. All right. This is not the kind of class where you just come listening to me. It's not a webinar per se. It's a workshop. Okay. So we're going to be doing some writing here and answering some questions and building. We're here to build our brand. So at the end of this class, you should be able to look at your notebook and have the clarity. Oh, this is how my brand should look. Oh, this is what I'm going to be putting out in the world. Okay, so what type of impact do you want to make in the world? What type of impact you want to make? Then the second thing you want to also answer, what do you want to be recognized and remembered for? Do you want to be recognized and remembered as the person who started luxury phones that are very easy to carry, very easy to operate, very easy to use, like Steve Jobs did? Okay, so Steve Jobs has answered the question number one and number two for you. So what kind of impact do you want to make? Could it be with a physical product? Could it be with your fitness program product? Could it be with your online course? Could it be with anything? What kind of impact do you want to make? What kind of problem do you want to solve in the world? How do you want to make the world a better place? Right? What do you want to be recognized and remembered for? Because this is your personal brand we're talking about here. It is the height of your existence, of your purpose, of the real you. So we have to bring everything out of you and use that to make an impact. So what do you want people to come to you for? That's another way to look at it. What do you want people to come to you for? These are the questions that you're going to be answering to give yourself clarity in regards to the kind of brand you want to build. So what do you want people to come to you for? You want them to come to you for fitness. You want them to come to you for sex, in terms of becoming, finding themselves again, or their sexual side after having 4 children like I have, right? So what do you want them to come to you for? The way you're going to answer that question is for you to know the problems that people have out there. So what problems do they have that you can solve for them? You want them to come to you for this problem because you have the solution, because you are passionate about it, because you have the expertise for it. as well. So what do you want people to come to you for? Another way to look at it would be to ask yourself, how can you make a big dent in the world? So my own way of making a big dent in the world is to speak life. Speak life, and I want to do this using events and stages across the world. And the way I'm doing it, even before somebody reaches out to me to say speak at their event, I am already creating my own events to ensure that I am pursuing my purpose and I'm making my dreams come to pass. So how can you make your own big dent in the world? How can you make your impact in the world? What do you do better than others? So this is us laying foundation for you to build your brand. So we're going to spend some time laying this foundation. And at the end of this foundation laying, you're going to have the clarity as to what brand you want to build and how you want to put it out there. So here are a few questions that you need to ask yourself, like I already shared. Thanks for sharing, guys. I appreciate it. All right. So having answered this question, you will want to move on to another exercise. What is that you do? What is it that you do that makes you different and adds measurable, distinguished, and distinctive value in the world, or to your work, or to your career, or in your business? What is it that you do that makes you different? So I need you to write it down. What put the title of this? What makes me different? And how I add measurable, distinguished, and distinctive value. So I want you to spend some time to think about this right here, right now, and then answer this question. What is it that I do that makes me, one, different, two, allows me add measurable and distinctive, yeah, maybe same thing, distinctive value to what I do? So please, let's answer this question, because these are the things, or this is the thing that will make you to build a standout brand, a magnetic brand that you can actually turn into a business that people that can become profitable. So building your brand has a lot of benefits, and there's a lot of reason why you should build your brand. Okay, it should distinguish you, it should stand you out, but it should also make you the go-to person. It should also make you the authority. It should also make people to pay attention to you, to notice you. So for them to notice you, for you to become the go-to person, you need to have difference. You need to have your differentiating factor, or differentiating factors, things that you do, features that you have as a person that distinguishes you. So what would this be for you? What would this be? What is the thing that makes you different? What feature? So for a physical product, for example, let me quickly share this. For physical products, for example, the features can be that, okay, let's use an iPhone that we're all familiar with. So an iPhone and other smartphones are slightly different. An iPhone has features that other phones probably don't have. Okay, so maybe an iPhone has a feature of, let me just say this, I know other phones have it, but let's just use this for illustration purpose, right? So let's say an iPhone has a battery life that can last for 7 days. And a normal phone has battery life that only lasts for 3 days. So maybe that's extreme. So let's say an iPhone has a battery life that can last for 72 hours, 3 days. And normal smartphones have a battery life that can last for just 24 hours or even less. So when people are going out there to shop for a phone, they probably will go for the iPhone because they want a phone that they don't have to be charging all the time. And so because of that feature, iPhone is selling the iPhones higher than the normal smartphones. And people are buying it because of that feature. That's a brand feature. That's what we call a brand advantage that iPhone has. So when you are able to bring out what makes you different, what makes you distinct, the thing that you do that makes you different, that other people don't do. So if you want to become the go-to person for teachers to make them passionate, for example, right, you must be able to bring something into the education industry that is not there, or that is there but is so minute. You must be able to do something that people are not doing. Maybe you want to introduce an app or a software. Maybe you want to do something different so that you can get people to notice you. For people to notice you, you must do something different. You must be distinct. You must bring measurable value to the table. So, all right. So another exercise I want you to do right now is to describe yourself in 3 words. Describe yourself in 3 words. For example, if I ask you what 3 words describe you, and you now is the professional you now is the serious you. It's not the you where you just know. I'm talking about you as a brand, you as a business, you as a serious person, you as the expert, you as the problem solver, you as the business. So what 3 words describe you? You are very serious right now. You're not joking with this. So I'd like you to quickly write those down. What 3 words? 3 words that describe you. 3 words that describe you. They could be words, okay? Yes, 3 words that describe you. So for me, for example, let me quickly explain so that you can take a cue from mine. 3 words that describe me: energy, I'm energetic, I'm confident, and I'm passionate. Those 3 words describe me. And there's a reason why we ask this question, because it's going to tie in to your brand. So if you've experienced my brand personally on Instagram or watched my videos, or you've been a follower, you would tell that I am energetic, I'm passionate, and I'm confident. So those 3 words describe me. All right. So I'm organized. Someone says I'm organized and focused on details. That's really good. So you are organized and then you are focused. That's really good. So what 3 words describe you that you would like to share, you would like to inject into the lives of your customers, of your audience, of your target market, of you would like to inject it into what you are going to be creating or what you are already building? 3 words. 3 words. So what 3 words describe Apple, for example? Luxury, innovation. What other thing will I say? Luxury, innovation, because you can see the Apple products. They're innovative. They're luxury products. The prices are not the same price with normal price in the market for for smartphones. Okay, so you also want to be able to describe yourself with 3 words. And while you've done that, it's time for us to lay the foundation for your brand. Okay, let's lay the foundation for your brand. So when you're starting out to build your own brand, you need a name for your brand. You need a logo for your brand. I'm talking about your personal brand now. We're used to having business brands and product brands and all of that, and we have logos for them. But we never have logos for our personal brand. And that's because we don't take personal branding seriously. We don't really know what it is. We don't know how to create it. And that's the reason why you're here. Your personal brand needs a logo. Your personal brand is you. Your personal brand is you. It's an individual. It's a person. Oprah Winfrey is a personal brand. She has her own logo. Richard Branson is a personal brand. He probably has his own logo. So your personal brand needs a name, it needs a logo. You need to have a specific font that you use to write on all your materials, because branding has to be consistent. When branding is not consistent and cohesive, it's all over the place and it's not a good brand. If you can't even get those right, then you've already planned to fail. So these are some of the foundation for your brand, to lay the foundation for your brand. So everything you build as a brand is going to be on this premise. Name of your brand. So how do you pick a name for your brand? How do you pick a name for your brand? The simplest way to use a name for your brand is to use your own name, your personal brand now. The simplest thing to do, the easiest how do I explain it? You never go wrong with your own name. Pardon me to say that. Now, I know that some of us have, especially those of us that are from Nigeria and Africa, right? We have names that are really long. Foreigners have four syllable worded names, including their first name and their last name. Oprah Winfrey, Richard Branson, they're usually two syllable each, right? Tiger Woods, three. Wendy Williams, four. Kim Kardashian, four, right? So, but we can have like seven. My name, I think, is seven syllable or eight. Emily Wale-Koya, seven. So when I was starting out to build my brand, this is a personal story now. I wasn't comfortable using my name. All my names, I tried so hard. I had to take out the Wale. I called myself Emily Koya. I said no, I didn't like it. I removed the Koya, Emily Wale. I said no, I didn't like it. Emily W. Koya. I tried so many things, and eventually I was able to accept it because I matched it against somebody in the industry who was already ahead of me, way, way, way ahead of me. And I saw that, oh, his name too was seven syllable. And so I was like, okay, great. So I'll just go with mine. And now people hear my name and they're telling me I flaunt the name so proudly. And I'm like, seriously, guys? So, like I was saying, the easiest way to choose a name for your brand would be to use your own name. If you have a name that, because this is your personal brand, this is your personal brand. You want Steve Jobs. You just think about that name. If I go somewhere and I say, oh, I'm the daughter or the cousin or something of Steve Jobs, or I even just wear a shirt that has Steve Jobs on it, do you know people are always going to stop me and ask me about that shirt? If I wear a shirt that has Oprah Winfrey on it, people are going to stop me and ask me about that shirt. They don't see Oprah on that shirt, but they see her name. So your name, I mean, you can use any other name, but why not use your name? Because it's your name. So that when they mention it somewhere, my daughter, personal story again, my daughter went to write her common entrance examination. And when they were being called out to submit their papers, and they called her name Olamide Wale-Koya, the person who called her name screamed and said, "Oh my God, you're Emily Wale-Koya's daughter. Oh my God." And my daughter was giving me the gist. She was telling me when I picked her up that, "Mommy, I felt like a star." Oh, she didn't say, "Mommy, so you're a star." She said she felt like a star because everybody started looking at her like, what's going on? So your name can last a long time. It can last eternity. Just like the name of Jesus. For those of us that are Christians, he's the first brand and the strongest, most powerful brand that ever lived, ever walked the surface of the earth. Because he's been gone over 3,000, 4,000, oh, God knows how many years. And the name is still as solid like he was still here with us. So we can take a cue from him because he's our Lord anyway. And he says, greater things shall ye do. So we can take a cue from him and we can build our brands using our name, right? Using our name. So I'm going to pause the recording and ask you, what type of name do you have? And are you comfortable using your name? And what is your name? So that I can tell you, even if you're not comfortable using your name, you can actually put your name together in such a way that you can use it. So if I'm no longer using Emily Wale-Koya, I would use Emily Speaks Life. My name is there anyway, or at least my first name is there. So the same thing for you. There's a way you can put it together. So let's talk about this quickly. Let me get your feedback. Are you fine using your name? Do you have such a powerful name, such a sweet name, such a memorable name? Is it short? Is it easily pronounced? Can people not bite their tongue if they want to try and call your name? Will it go smoothly on a shirt? Will it go smoothly on the top? Can it be abbreviated into 2 or 3 letters and used? So Emily Wale-Koya would be EWK. Emily Speaks Life would be ESL, which I prefer. So if I want to shorten Emily Speaks Life and I'm producing mache, face caps, or tote bags and all of that, I can put ESL or I can put Emily Speaks Life. So the same thing with yours. And that is the way to actually choose a name for your brand. So the first thing is to use your own name. If you feel your name is too long or it's difficult to pronounce, then you may want to cut it. You may want to shorten it. If you can't shorten it, then you may want to use the abbreviation. So let's talk about this quickly. All right, so it must not be your name. Someone is asking. It must not be your name. All right, you could use any other name, but you must treat your personal brand like a product. If you're creating a phone, if you're creating peanuts, you will give that thing a name. You will create a name for it. Especially, you will take your time. So the same thing plays out when it comes to your personal brand. You should spend time to brand yourself with a name. You can't be teens coach because teens coach, there are many of them everywhere. But when you use your name is unique to you most of the time. Your name is unique to you. And another reason why you should use your name is simply because even if you decide to do something else tomorrow, your name remains. Emily Wale-Koya is Emily Wale-Koya till Jesus comes. If I decide that I want to start printing book, Emily Wale-Koya still remains. My brand is still there. People still trust me, know me, and like me, and will do business with me. If I decide I want to do carpentry tomorrow, my name's still there. I don't know if this is clear. This is clear. See, imagine Oprah Winfrey. Imagine she was answering another name, not her name, Oprah Winfrey. She has businesses. She has OTV, O network. She has things. Different. She has O magazine. And can you see she didn't even go far away from her name? She still stayed with the Oprah. Oh. So that's the power of branding. You must have coercion. You cannot just go away completely. Not to say it can't happen. It can happen, but if you can stay on brand and really close to your brand, the better for you. For example, all my kids, all their names starts with O. All of them O. I have 4 of them, all O. And the reason is because I plan to do something with the names. I plan to build a brand for them as siblings with that name. I have no idea yet, but I have a plan. Right? Or I don't have a plan yet. I intend to. I intend to do something with the name. All right? So let's move on. I'm still confused on how to choose a perfect name for my personal brand. Your personal brand, the best answer to choosing a name for your personal brand is to use your name. Shikina, that's it. Simple. If you choose that you don't want to use your name for whatever reason, and I would really like to know what that reason would be, because your personal brand is you. So it's better to use your name. Okay? So Debbie, let me hear from you, if that made sense. I don't understand this thing about combining personal brand with organizational brand. Okay, so Vaughn, please ask that question. Ask that question in a way that I can understand so that I can explain. I think I know what you're trying to say, but I would like you to make it clear. Do you want me to explain what a personal brand is and what an organizational brand is? Then I would explain that to you using myself as an example, me and my company. Joke Dami Bola. Okay, that can work. Never considered using my personal name, probably a combination of my kid's name. Uh, hmm, a combination of your kid's name. Listen, like I explained to you guys, the best naming for your personal brand is your name. The best naming. You don't is your name. Your handle on Instagram, because that's where a lot of people play. Your handle doesn't have to be your personal brand name. Your handle is your handle. It can be your personal branding name. It must not be your personal branding name. So it may not be. Your name is best. If you don't want to use your name for whatever reason, like I'm saying, and you prefer to use a combination of your kid's name, that's fine. But listen to what I'll advise. Stay with your name and create a business. Create a company that you can use your kid's name. When it comes to your personal brand, it is you. Not that's the end of the story. It is you. Your personal brand is you. It's an individual, and that individual is you. All right? So your name is your name, is your own, is you your own. So why not use your name? I don't know if this explains anything to us. There's a difference between a personal brand name and a business name. Your personal brand name can eventually become a business name, but most of the time it does not follow. Your personal brand name is Emily Wale-Koya or ABC something or Richard Branson or Steve Jobs. Do you see they all have their names? Wendy Williams, that's the name. They all have their names. Now, even if your personal brand name is going to be a different name other than your name, it's still okay. Like Two-Face, for example, for those of you that are Nigerians, you know Two-Face, you know Tiwa Savage. Those are two names. They sound like first name and second name, but they are not her name. Okay, Tiwa should be her original name, but Savage is not her last name. So even if you are creating a different name entirely, it must be memorable. It must be easy to pronounce. It must sound nice. It should be globally accepted. Eventually, your personal brand name can be used for other things. Tiwa Savage can decide that she's going to have Tiwa Savage Air or TS Air. Oprah can decide that she's going to have OW something. But you've built your personal brand and it has become a powerhouse that anything you touch will turn gold. Are we making sense? We're spending quite some time on this, but I'm fine with it. I'm really fine with it. It means a lot of us, even all the posts I've been posting online about personal brand, even if we have not understood. I think I got a name I'm proud of using. HP, Habila Precious. Okay, that's fine. That's HP, right? That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Now, HP is something that's already known out there because of the laptops, because of Bill Gates' company, right? So people are going to easily remember. It's just the same way when Genevieve magazine came out, a lot of people thought it was Genevieve the actress. I was buying it thinking it was Genevieve the actress until I found out it had nothing to do with Genevieve. The same thing with Alibaba. When Alibaba, the e-commerce site came out, I thought it was our own Alibaba comedian. I didn't know it had nothing, no relationship with Alibaba the comedian. So you may want to also use that to create a name for yourself. Again, your personal brand name is a human being's name. Right? It's best that way. I don't want to begin to mention some known people on social media, especially with the fact that I'm recording this. If not, I would have mentioned so that I can give you a clear picture. But I think I've done some clarity enough. I've given you some names. But if you're not cool with it, let me know. We'll still talk about it. Especially when it's already tough to an organization. Okay, so Vaughn, please ask your question one one with one sentence so I can understand. Thank you, sweetie. My organization is Explore Educational Services. Now we're talking. This is an organization. This is a company. This is a business brand. You that has it is the personal brand, right? So, for example, I am Emily Wale-Koya. I am the personal brand. I, Emily Wale-Koya, am a certified personal branding strategist. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a business coach. I'm a peak performance coach. My company is not these things. It is Emily Wale-Koya that is these things or are these things, right? My company is School of Personal Branding, one of my companies. School of Personal Branding is a business, is a company. It has its own name. It has its own life. It has its own legal everything. Does that make sense? So when I started as just with my personal brand. I was doing everything myself. But as I was growing, I had to separate my personal brand from my business brand because they are not the same thing. Your personal brand stays as your personal brand forever. All right? Let's see what you guys got there. Hold on. I'm using my local name that is not known to everyone. That's fine, Christiana, as long as it is sweet, right? As long as it is sweet, as long as it is unique, as long as it is globally can fit into the global scheme of things. That's something you need to pay attention to as well. If you have a local name that is sweet, awesome, please use it. It's going to stand you out. All right, it's going to stand you out. I support it. But make sure it fits into the global scheme of things. Make sure it can be pronounced. Make sure it is memorable. Make sure it is short, concise, not short per se. Make sure it is concise. Please, Ma, could it be something like this, Emma's World? It could be something like Emma's World, but Emma's World is too. The word in my mind, I'm not going to use it so that I don't sound. Emma's World is it's still something that is just there. It can be Emma's World, but it's you want to create something unique. Listen, The reason for branding is because you want to stand out. That's one of the major reasons. You don't want to be part of the crowd, of the pack. You don't want to operate in the sea of sameness. And it is so important that your name can make or break you. Your name can make or break your brand. Ama's World, for God's sake, does that tickle anybody's fancy? What does it tickle anybody's fancy? Is it a big deal? When you're branding, you must make everything you do a big deal. Branding is a long journey. It doesn't happen overnight because you took this class with me or you're in this workshop. So all of a sudden you begin to build a big brand. It is a journey you wake up to and do every day. Business can be like this, but your brand, no. Long time, long term. But when you get it right, the payoff is incredible. Okay. Can I do Tony Imisi Oluwa? Yes, Tony Imisi Oluwa is fine. Tony Imisi Oluwa, that's it. One syllable more than mine. But Tony Imisi Oluwa is fine. Or you can even shorten it. You can just go T Miss Yolua, or you can go Toy Miss Yolua. If you want to stand out, if you want to just want people to say Toy, really, but they're paying attention. It's really up to you and how much power you have to carry your brand. Are you fine with it? Are you good with it? Are you proud of it? So Tony Miss Yolua, Miss Yolua is fine. Or you can just go. So if you are Tony, let me quickly say this is going to help a lot of you. If you go Tony in Miss Yolua in your Instagram, for example, your name that's up there, then your username, the one that has the at, it can now be at the Imisiolua. So that's your Instagram name or Instagram handle name. At the Imisiolua. Something like that. So mine is at Emily Speaks Live, but my name is Emily Wale-Koya. All right, let's go on. So the Tony Michelle was fine. It's good. I already understand what they mean, but how do you combine both? Okay, so we're going to come back to all these questions so that we can move on. I'm not supposed to be asking questions now. Okay, I'm just going to do justice. Let's stop typing, let's stop sending any more message about names. Let me deal with the ones that are here. So please just bring it when we have the Q&As for 1 hour. It's going to be hot. Some people find it difficult to pronounce my surname. That the reason why I'm confused if I should only use my first name, Deborah Heinz. Now I can't pronounce it either. Heinz, I'm not sure. Heinz Indukwe. So you can just go Deborah Indukwe. You must not have all the three names. So Deborah Indukwe, I don't know which one is you can move the Hyacinth or Hyacinth, I'm not sure. Deborah Indukwe, DN. All right, Deborah Indukwe, that's fine. That's fine. Make your name count for something. Your parents gave it to you for a reason. Don't run away from your name. Instead, you shorten it, we reduce some things, we abbreviate it, we make it a household name. Yes. See, for example, I'm going to just use one name now because he's respected. Fela Durutoye. He can decide, he calls himself sometimes FD. So if he's putting out anything, he can just call it FD, FD supermarket, FD hotel, FD airline, FD shoe, FD bag, FD everything. If he doesn't want to put the whole Fela Durutoye because it's not going to fit into products when he starts to do those things. So FD will just suffice. Does that make sense? Is it okay to use my traditional name? Yeah, it depends on what your traditional name is. If it's unique, we can make it work. We can create it or recreate the name. Thank you, Emily. I'm getting some insight. Great. I'm happy to hear that. Best feedback ever. Best feedback ever. My question, how do I combine Von Zod with my company or Cheats House of Decor? All right, so I'm going to quickly answer that question. So Von, you are a personal brand, just like Emily Wale-Koya or Emily Speaks Live is. My School of Personal Branding is my School of Personal Branding. That's my company. So I'm going to assume that my School of Personal Branding is, or Cheats House of Decor is my School of Personal Branding. And Von Zod is me, Emily Wale-Koya. Fortunately for me, my School of Personal Branding and me, Emily Wale-Koya, we do the same thing. My School of Personal Branding is an extension of my personal brand. But I have other businesses that I have that I've started, and others that I would even start that have nothing to do with my personal brand per se. That's the reason why there will be businesses. But my personal brand is authentic to me. This is what I want to do. This is what excites me. This is my purpose. This is me on a mission to die empty. Me as Emily Wale-Koya, personal brand. Okay? So, as a personal brand, I teach the things that we do in the School of Personal Branding as an extension. If I was Emily Wale-Koya teaching how to start a business, online courses, personal branding, and I have a decor company like you have, Vaughn, if I had a decor company and me, Emily Wale-Koya, as a personal brand, I am a teacher of something else. What I can do is to ensure that I incorporate decor that my company, House of Decor Orchids, do or does, is to incorporate it into my personal brand. So I would now begin to teach House of Decor, or Decor rather. I will now begin to do things that show that I am the expert when it comes to decor. Do you understand? And there's no way that I will be doing House of Decor and I will still be doing motivational speaking. They don't go hand in hand. They don't go hand in hand. And even if it will go hand in hand, your personal brand will evolve. Your personal brand will evolve, but it will not evolve in such a way that as I do what I'm doing now as my purpose, speaking, teaching, I will now begin to teach decor. I won't do that because it's off brand for me. I can have a decor company and the decor company will run on its own. It will have a life of its own. That's why it's a company. It will have its own structure, its own processes, its own staff, its own content, its own Instagram, everything separate. Most of us put everything on one page, on Instagram, on Facebook. We do everything on one. You separate your personal brand, stays as your personal brand. Your decor company stays as another one. Open another account for it, let it run. Your real estate stays as another one. You can have different businesses, but you as a personal brand, you stand for something. So I don't know if that helps you, Vaughn, in any way. Tony and Missy. Oh, Tony Missy. I'm not sure that sounds sweet. Tony Missy Lua was even sweeter. I'm not sure. Samurai. Samurai is good. Princess Samurai is good. Sis, please, can I do DHN content or Deborah Heinsian content? Um, yeah, Deborah Heinsian content is good. And then you can just shorten it to DHN. Yeah, so yeah, Deborah Heinsian content is good. Deborah Ndukwe content is good. Is Heinsian your last name? Are you married? Is Heinsian your last name? All right, mine is Samurai. Yeah, that's fine. Can I do V wigs and luxury hair? Yes, that's fine. V wigs is good. You can do that. You can do that. So V-Wigs can be your company name. V-Wigs can even be your personal branding name, but you also want to ensure that you are promoting Victoria Bright Arunsi. Arunsi. Yeah. You want to be sure that you're promoting that. When people invite you to speak, listen, part of the things you do as a brand, as a personal brand, because you as a personal brand, you are an expert, you are an authority. Part of the things that you do as an authority and as a personal brand is to speak at events. You must speak at events, your own event, an industry-led event. If you're going to be seen as an authority, as the go-to person, you must do what your competitors don't do. That's why you are in this workshop. You must speak. Speaking opens you up to opportunities and audiences that you never would have met if you stayed just doing business as usual. So if they're inviting you to speak, they're not going to call you V-Wigs. They're going to say, let's welcome Victoria Bright Arunsi. She's popularly known as V-Wigs, or she runs the company called V-Wigs. They're not going to say, let's introduce V-Wigs. All right, I hope that makes sense. Yeah, thanks. All right, Debbie, thanks. Yeah, thanks. All right, so I think we just move on. Yeah, let's move on. Okay, thanks to everybody who participated. This was really good, right? Yes. This was really good, right? This was really, really good. I enjoyed it. I wasn't expecting this, but I was so happy that you guys came through, asked questions and all that. This was good. So we can move on. I will do the Ryan Duque content, DN. Okay, DN content or DNK. You can add the que inside DNK. Make sure, because we have Did we have DNK as a brand out there already? Duni, I can't remember. What's that? DKNY. Oh, okay, DKNY. All right, but let's move on. Can we go on now? All right, so back to laying the foundation for your brand, for your personal brand. Okay, so we're talking about your name. See, a lot of us spend time building business brands, building product brand, building all the things that we're used to building, but we never build a name for ourselves. We never ever. The people are doing it. This thing, it's a secret that needs to be put out there. The same way Nike is running Nike and branding Nike and building such a phenomenal company. You can do the same thing with your personal brand. People can know you as the go-to person for decor and they can pay you top dollar because you're good at it. Because Nike is the go-to brand, for example, when it comes to sportswear and all of that for athletes. We pay top dollar for Nike's clothes. Nike, you see that logo? That logo that looks like a good sign, like a tick sign. Yeah, tick good, right, like a right sign. When we see that logo on anything, we pay for it. Whatever they call that amount, we will feel bad when we don't have the money to pay. If not, we want to buy it. We want to wear it. We're wearing brands. We're using brands every day. And there was a time when you'll be building, spending time building your business brand, but now you have an opportunity to build a brand of your own for yourself with your name. Nobody does it like you. So your name, we've talked about that. We spent some time talking about it. I'm happy about that. So your logo as well. You can put up a logo. It's not a must, but if you want to make it look boisterous or buoyant, make it look big, then yeah, get a name for your brand. You're gonna stand out when you have a name for your brand. Gary Vee has a brand, sorry, I beg your pardon, a logo. Gary Vee has a logo for his brand, and a couple of other people that are out there. Grant Cardone has a logo for his brand. See, Grant Cardone has his name. Sometimes your personal brand name will just fit into the picture so well, and then you can use it to create other things, other businesses. So Grant Cardone, Grant, like giving someone grant money. So Grant Cardone, that's his brand, that's his name. And so he's using it as his personal brand name as well. Now he also has Cardone University. Do you see how sweet it sounds? So some of us don't have such names that can fit into that this whole thing. But we can find a way to make it work. We can shorten it, we can abbreviate it. So we have John C. Maxwell certified coach. So I've been thinking about mine because I'm going to be rolling out my certification programs very soon for people. And I'm thinking Emily Wale-Koya certified personal brand strategist, Emily Wale-Koya certified speaker and coach. I'm like, okay, fit. It's my name and I love it. I want it to be my name. I really want it to be my name. So I'm finding a way to make sure it's my name. So when you have your personal brand, you can touch heaven. You can do many things with it. Okay? And it's your name. The moment they mention your name, people know it's you. So fonts, let's talk about fonts now. There are different fonts, of course, that are out there. So what you want to do, of course, you want to work with a graphic person who also has eyes for branding, or you work with a brand strategist at once, okay, who can help you create your logo, who can help you write your name, your brand name properly and professionally, so that you can use it on materials. You can use it on your social media posts. You can use it in your videos. You can use it in everywhere that your name needs to appear, even in your slides as well. And then your colors. So we're going to talk about this as we move on. Then for your foundation as well, you need a website. Your website is going to serve as your online home. Okay, you need a website for your personal brand. You need a website. Some people have a website that contains their personal brand and their company brand or their business brand. That's when they are in sync, they are together. So for example, if your personal brand is about decor and you have a decor company as well, or something close to a decor company, something close to what your personal brand is about, you can put them on one website and that is fine. You can build your brand alongside. Okay, you can build your brand alongside, and that's really beautiful. That would be bliss if you find yourself there. But if not, you can separate them and you can still win. Okay. So you also need your social media platform as a foundation for building your personal brand. So social media is like free. Okay, the account is free to open, and then you can start using social media without spending a dime. So social media is like the foundation for brand building into this marketplace. You just open your phone and you start to share. But you don't just want to be sharing stuff. You want to be sharing branded stuff. Everything you share from now on has to be on brand, not off brand. Don't put a funny person laughing on on your feed or on your social media post, except they relate to your brand. If not, don't put it. Always think about the aesthetics of your brand. Always think about how your brand looks. Always think about it. Always know and have it at the back of your mind that you are a brand. As a personal brand, you are a brand. That's why I'm saying use your name. That's why I'm saying have a logo. That's why I'm saying have particular fonts. That's why I'm saying have your brand colors, because that's how Nike does. Nike has the brand colors. Nike has a logo. Nike has their fonts that they use. Nike appears a particular way on their website and on social media. The same thing goes for Adidas. The same thing goes for Coach. The same thing goes for all these big brands that you know out there, McDonald's and KFC and all of that. So let's take a cue from them and build a name or a brand for ourselves. We as the person, we as the individual. All right, let's move on. So now starting your own brand. How do you start your brand? Here are four things or four words I would like to us to pay attention to, and I'm going to explain each and every one of them. So there's what we call the what of your brand, the who of your brand, the how of your brand, and the why of your brand. So the what of your brand. So these four things you pay attention to read. This is like everything that your brand is about. The what is your brand? Okay, what is your brand? What are you creating? What is the product? Is it a phone? Is it a shoe? Is it an online course? The what is the thing that you're going to be putting out there for people to buy, what you're going to be selling. So what is your brand? So Nike's brand is Nike shoes. Nike brand is Nike's lawn tennis outfit. Nike's brand are sportswear. That's Nike's brand. McDonald's brand are fried food, burger, and all the things that McDonald's sells. Apple's brand are luxury phones that are sleek, innovative, lovely to carry, expensive. So what is your brand? So I'd like us to do this as an exercise. What is your brand? So let's quickly answer that. So what are you going to be creating to sell? The what of Tesla, Elon Musk company, is Tesla cars. Cars that are electronic and don't use fuel. That's the what. Now, the what of your brand has to be unique. At this point, some people, when I teach this, my branding class, some people are going to say, this is just hard. Branding is not easy. Building a brand is not easy. That's why when you see companies that have done this, you can see that they can sell at any price point. Nike can sell what they sell at any price point and we will buy. We will even be begging. We'll be crying if we can't buy it because we don't have the money. If not, we want to wear it. You want to wear a known brand. It's normal for everybody in the world, sort of. So what is your brand? The what has to be creative. It has to be unique. So I want you to write something down. You will go back and you will go through your work again, and then you will watch this class again, and then you're going to review your work and modify and come up with something that is modified and better off. So what are you going to be creating? What is the brand? What is your brand? The what of Emily Speaks Live brand, what my brand is speaking and online courses. That's the what of my brand. That's what I'm bringing to the table. And if I want to define that what, I'm going to define it in a way that I'll say the what of my brand is my speaking services that is second to none. It's my speaking services that will wake your audience up. It's my speaking services that will cause your staff to begin to aim for more. And I do this so well, you can't ignore me. I do it so well, you invite me to come back again. I do it so well, you will pay me whatever I ask you to pay me. So what is your own brand? And then the who of your brand is the audience. Who is your brand? So your brand is a 35-year to 45-year-old woman or man or child or school. So it could be a person, it could be an organization, it could be a product. But we're going to personalize it when we're trying to define the who is your brand. So who is your brand? Who do you want to serve? Who needs what you are actually creating or what you have created? Who has pain that needs to be eliminated with your brand and the thing that your brand is going to be creating or selling? So someone says skincare products that will make women confident. Skincare product that would make women confident. Okay, that's fine. So that's the what of your brand. And that's fantastic. So let's take a cue from that. That's the what of your brand. So when you're asking yourself, what is my brand? What do we sell as a brand? What do people know us for as a brand? What do people come to us for as a brand? This is the answer. Skincare products that will make women confident. So you don't go outside this until you solidify, you master that space, then you can move into other things. So I'm not going to talk about other things. I'm talking about this one now. Does this make sense? Does this make sense? So what is your brand? What is the Christina Ogundele? What is the Christiana Ogundele brand about? What is the Christiana Ogundele's brand about? It's about skincare products that would make women confident and beautiful. Christy Ogundele. Exactly. You see, Christy has shortened it because she wants to use her name. Right? So even if she doesn't want to use her name, I'm just saying. But Christy has, instead of Christiana Ogundele, she's called it Christy Ogundele, which is shorter and more memorable. Anybody can pronounce that now. Your first name can be long, and then your second name too is long. It's going to give people problem. So shorten one, and you'll be okay. Right? For those of us that have long names, like my name too, Emily Wale-Koya, people always mess it up. That's why I'm using Emily Speaks Live too most of the time. My what is trainings that bring about change in their teaching, and books that motivate and inspire them to become great leaders. You guys are getting this. Tony Misiolua, well done. Tony, well done. I'm going to read it out, okay? So that when you guys are listening to these as a replay, you would hear me. So Tony says the what is her brand are trainings that bring about change in teaching and books that motivate and inspire teachers to become great teachers. So Tony is going to be selling trainings. Tony is going to be selling books. Tony is going to be selling motivation and inspiration to teachers. Teachers now is her audience. And so that brings us to the who is your brand. So who is your audience? Who is your ideal customer? Excuse me. And to answer that question, you are going to, first of all, think about who has the problem that you can solve. Who has the problem that you want to solve? Okay? And so answer that question. Middle-aged and elderly women who want to keep looking young and beautiful. Christina, well done. So Christina's audience, the who is the Christy Ogundele brand, okay? Christy Ogundele's brand, the who. So when you go, who is the Christy Ogundele brand? Christy Ogundele brand is the middle age. You wouldn't say it's for. You would say because it is a brand. Who is Nike brand? Athletes. Those are Nike's audience, or anyone who wants to feel like an athlete and be fast. That's actually, if you look at Nike's mission statement, you will see why Nike is even selling sportswear to people that are not athletes. It's there. I just cannot remember it offhand now, but you wouldn't understand why. That's because you have built everything for your brand, your mission statement, your vision, your goals, your what, your who, your how, your why. All right, so let's move on, please. So the who of your brand is middle-aged and elderly women who want to keep looking young and beautiful. Kiss Christy, what you just did here is beautiful. I want to talk about it and use it as an example. A lot of people that produce skincare, they produce skincare for whitening skin. They produce skincare for white. Nobody's paying attention to the black skin. Nobody's paying attention to the African skin. And that's because we here in this part of the world, we don't want to grow. We don't want to build brands that will last over 100 years. We don't want to give our companies to, we don't want our children to come and inherit our companies. We have no such plans. We just want to put food on the table. We just want to get by. We never think of the next generation. We never think of leaving our own mark. That's why personal branding is hard for a lot of people. They just pass it by. But personal branding allows you to leave your own mark. So that all this work that you are doing, researching, going to get your master's, going to get this degree, going to get this training and certification, you can be remembered, your brand, your personal brand. So Christine has defined her own, the who is her brand, which is her audience, middle-aged and elderly women. If you're not middle-aged and elderly, Christine is not, her brand is not for you. Somebody else says, my brand is to help you build your charisma and confidence as an entrepreneur. Okay, so Debbie, you haven't really answered the question. All right, so we're talking about the who is your brand in terms of your audience. Who you want to work with? Are they moms? Even when they are moms, what kind of moms are you talking about? Are they moms with children? Are they single moms? You can so niche your audience down to the point where it becomes so crystal clear who you are working with. Don't be afraid to niche down. Don't be afraid to niche. You want to be the authority at something, so you should niche to the point where you become the go-to person for that thing. You become so good at it. Yeah? So the who is teenagers. Okay, that's fine. Teenagers who are what or who need what. So don't just say teenagers, okay? Because teenagers is wide, okay? You don't just say teenagers. Like for Nike, athletes, but they don't just stop at athletes. And I don't think that's how Nike started for athletes. I'm sure their brand grew and they had resources to do what they wanted, they now started to niche down and now to not niche and just generalize and say it's for athletes. Okay, so how is your brand? And this how basically is talking about how you're going to communicate your message, how you're going to let people know about your brand. So a lot of our social media is the primary point. So you start out on social media, you pick which of the platforms you want to begin to use, and we're going to talk about that as we go on. And then the why. A lot of businesses, a lot of brands don't pay attention to the why of their brand. They know they know the what of their brand, what they sell. They know who they sell to. They know how they communicate using adverts and all of that. But they don't ever pay attention to their why. So you need to pay attention to your why. Why are you here as a personal brand now who has a business or who wants to build a business or who is building a brand? Why do you exist as a brand? Why do you exist? Why are you here? Why should anybody care that you are in this market or in this world? Why should anybody care that you do what you do? Does this make sense, guys? Is this clear enough? Why should anybody care that you do what you do? Why? So you want to write a sentence out to answer this question. And basically, the simplest one to answer is, why do you exist? Why does Christy Ogundele exist? Why does Debbie so and so exist? Christy says, because most women lose confidence in themselves as they grow older. So Christy, why are you here? You are here because most women lose confidence in themselves as they grow older and they need blah, blah, blah. So you are here because you want to help women feel confident. So I'm helping you to paraphrase, all right, so that you get your why clearly. Your why is the clarity of your brand. Why do we do what we do? Why do I do what I do? Why do I make cream? Why do I wake up every day to go make cream? So, Christy, let's say, for example, you would modify it as you after now. All right. So, Christy Ogundele's brand is here or exists because they want to provide confident skincare cream or products or something for women who lose confidence in themselves. Okay, something like that. They want to provide skincare products for women, mid-age or elderly or something, right? Because I remember you said mid-age and elderly women, those are your audience. So the Christy Ogundele brand, the reason why it exists is to provide skincare regimen or products to help women feel more confident as they grow older. That's the why. Now, your why has to be strong. Your why has to be strong. If I close this class on this why today, we would have done very well. Your why has to be solid. Your why is where you're going to build something that is so unique for your brand. So that you are not just another expert or authority or business on decor, on skincare, on teens coaching. So the why has to be strong. Instead of saying just want to provide skincare products for the elderly people, you can say you want to provide skincare for women whose skin have been bastardized because of chemical. It has to be strong. It has to be compelling. It has to warrant or invoke attention. Guys, please listen. It has to invoke attention. You really want to spend time putting this together. I've never thought branding in a way that people just when you attend my branding class, you will understand what it means to build a brand and a business that is sustainable, not just around and about all over the place. You stay in one place and build something that is magnetic and magnificent. So, why is your brand? My why is to help people who are confused and stuck at their current jobs and who have lost purpose at their careers. That's a strong why. That's a strong why. That's a strong why. Another way to know if you have a strong why is to determine the amount of pain your brand is solving or can solve or is here to solve. The amount of pain that your audience or ideal customer has. If people have lost their job and they are stuck and confused, they are even planning suicide because they have bills to pay and they have no source of income. The only one they had is now been taken away from them, their job. So if you can provide them with hope, if you can provide them with the path to getting back their job or getting some sort of employment, then they will listen to you. So you come out strong. So Carol, great job. And I'm sure the rest of us who were listening or just watching, we're taking notes too, and we're thinking about it as well. So your why is so important. Your why is what will wake you wake. It's going to wake you up every day. Your why is the reason why you wake up every day. Your why is why you're going to be posting every day. Your why, it has to be compelling. It has to be strong enough to get you out of bed. Not a caricature stuff. You are here to build a powerhouse brand. You're here to build something for the next 40 years, 50 years, and you can hand it over to your children. It's no joke. So you must create a compelling why. Your why must be solving a major problem in the world. Your why must be eliminating a mega pain in the world. And the world now, not necessarily the whole world, the world could be your audience, your ideal customer's life. So that why wakes you up. You're always on your toes. What can I do to make life easier for these people? What can I do? Can I create a job app? Can I create an app where people, a software or an app where people can go and just pick their decor or understand decorating? What you must be on your why will keep you awake when the world is sleeping. You are thinking, you are brainstorming, you're praying, you're worshiping, you're doing stuff because your why will compel you. It will compel you to always get up. Are we following at all? Are we here? I'm here because I want to motivate teachers to give the best to the children they teach. I want them to become more confident and dedicated to teaching. A frustrated teacher will produce frustrated students. So your why, let me see. You're catching the fire. Okay, good. Your why to become more confident and dedicated to teaching. So your why is now to give, to motivate teachers to give the best to the children they teach. It's not compelling enough. It's good, but I need it to be compelling. I need it to invoke emotion. I need to invoke attention. I need it to get somebody to say, oh my God, I need you in my life. I need to give you money to teach me this. So it has to be compelling. Okay, yes, I'm here. We're here, ma. Okay. All right. Okay, great. So what's your why? What's your why? Why are you here? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you waking up every day? Okay, Miss Yolua, good. Why are you waking up every day? Is it strong enough for you? Or you just want to do this to just get by? How do you want to make your own dent in the world? How do you want to make your own dent in the world? How do you want to make your own dent in the world? Okay, okay. So these are the things you can do to build the foundation for your brand. All right. Now clarifying your brand audience. We already talked about this a bit. Who you serve or who you serve, who you want to serve, or who you currently serve. So we talked about this. We already spent time talking about it or sharing about it. So who do you currently serve? And are you fine with them? Do they have money to give you? Are they financially buoyant and stable? Are they willing to pay for what you are, the solution that you're going to be solving for them with your brand, with your expertise, with your knowledge? If they are not, then you may want to shift. Who best needs what you have to offer? Who best needs your brand? Who best needs your offer? Who best needs your solution? Who would your content appeal to the most? So that's the who. So you want to define this audience or this market so clearly. And I think I'm gonna share how we can do that. So when it comes to building an audience for your brand, first rule, know your ideal customer inside out. Know your ideal customer inside out. So you must know them, what their problems are. Second rule, know his or her frustration inside out. Don't just pick another business or another thing and say you want to build your brand around because it's nice, it's fancy, you know, you're passionate about it. Yes, you can run with your passion, but when it comes to business, you must be able to find a pain that's your passion. You can create something around your passion to solve for the people. So third rule, address his or her frustration. So the first thing is to know your ideal customer inside out. Who is my ideal customer? What age? What is the age of my ideal customer? What are the interests my ideal customer has? What kind of food do they even like? What kind of cars do they drive? What's their religion? What are their affinities? Right? What are the things they really love? Who do they follow? Who do they listen to? What do they watch? Because when you are able to answer these questions, you will kind of have an idea of who your customer is. Maybe they like luxury, maybe they like to travel, maybe they like simple things. You'll be able to know. Depending on the car they drive, you'll know if they like luxury. So if they like luxury, then that means they can afford you, they can pay good money for stuff. If they are on the other side, maybe they drive Toyota, maybe they drive some other cars that are not, then they're not really bothered about branded cars or something, then you would also be able to know who they are, what they love, and what you can put in front of them that will cause them to notice you. The second rule is to know their frustration. What are their pains? What are their pain points? What's keeping them awake? What's keeping them awake? For example, if you want to help teachers, what's keeping them awake? Why are they not able to sleep when the world is sleeping? Why are they not able to give their best? So you need to know and you need to write that down. So when you're going through this masterclass again, now you can listen a lot more than you're writing. But when you're going through, make sure you are writing. You block out 2 to 3 hours to listen to this class and answer questions. You pause, you listen, so that you can create something extraordinary. So the third rule is for you to now address their fears and their frustration. And the way to do this is through content. That's the vehicle. This is where content comes in. When it comes to social media and content is currency on social media, right? Content is currency on social media. People spend their money in quote, okay, to access your content. And their money here is their energy, is their attention, is their time. They go scrolling, looking for content, consuming content. Why should anybody consume your own content? If he answers the first, second, and third rule, they would stop and listen to you or pay attention to you. So let's move on. Now let's talk about developing your brand style. Your brand style, developing your brand style. So this has to do with colors, fonts, voice, point of view, visuals, and grammar. So let's start with your color. So most people that want to start building their brand, they just go out there with any kind of color. They don't even know what colors mean. They don't know the definition or description of colors. So I've arranged some for us here. There's an image here that we can use. So if you're using red, for example, as your brand's color, red stands for excitement, love, strength, energy, passion. Okay, blue stands for trust, competence, peace, loyalty, intellect. Yellow, which is where I fall in, happiness, energy, that's me. Creativity, that's me. Good times, I'm cheerful, that's yellow. Okay, and then if you're green, if your color falls around green, nature, healing, growth, fertility, of course, growth, freshness. So you can see every color stand for something. Now, the way to use colors in your branding is basically to answer the question of what do you want people to come to you for? When people think about your brand, what do you want them to think about? So when people think about Emily Wale-Koya, I want them to think about energy. I want them to think about creativity. I want them to think about good times that they can have when they come and coach with me. And that's why yellow is perfect for me. And I'm not just stopping at yellow. You can pick a secondary color. And then you can even pick a neutral color, a third color. So they go hand in hand. So to pick your colors, and if you're going to work with a brand person, to pick your colors, you want to answer the question of what you can start with saying, what are the three words that describe how you want people to feel about your brand. Three words that describe how you want people to feel about your brand. And then you can look at this color chart here, this psychology of colors, to pick, to see where you fall into. And then you can now pick your color, starting with your primary color, which will take about 65-75% of your entire graphics, graphic designs out there, right? Yes. So this is how you pick color. Your font, you also want to pay attention to your font. Your graphic person will be able to give you a particular font. And then your colors, whoever is you're going to be working with, ensure that they give you the color code so that even if you're not working with them tomorrow, you can maintain consistency of your brand in terms of the color and every other thing. So then your voice, how do you want to sound, right? When you are talking to or you're sharing content out there on social media. Do you want to sound playful? You see, all these things matter. That's why branding is not for small children. Do you want to sound playful? Do you want to sound like an authority? Do you want to sound, how do you want to sound? Serious? Want to sound like a comedian? Does it fit your branding? So you really want to pay attention to so that you can maintain consistency and cohesion. And then your point of view. What is your point of view? What is the one thing that you are holding on to so powerfully that is different from what the world is holding on to? That's your POV. So you also want to put it out there throughout the content that you share on social media. And then your visuals. What kind of visuals do you want to use? How do you want, what kind of images do you want to use? How do you want to look? Professional, formal, informal, playful. These things matter and you should also pay attention to them. The same thing happens, the same thing with your grammar. There's somebody online, Gary V, he uses the F word a lot. And so some people are going to be put off with that or by that. But some people are like, no problem. He makes a lot of sense. But that F word part, you don't want your children near Gary V. Even if he makes a whole lot of sense. He got over 8 million followers. But he uses F word. There's no sentence he makes that does not have the F word. So you want to be also mindful of your grammar. How do you want to sound? What kind of grammar do you want to use in your word, in your branding and style consistently? You need to pay attention to that. Now, when it comes to launching your brand on social media as well, there's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's LinkedIn, there's a new one called Clubhouse, and you can use it to announce your brand. You can use it to announce your brand. The way to launch your brand on social media, because I'm sure none of us has launched. This is a new concept that I am introducing into the world. Mark my words. I am introducing this concept into the world. It's called brand launch. So when you're starting a new brand, you need to launch your brand. Mark my words. So when you hear somebody else using it, just tell them that's from Emily Wale-Koya, that's from my coach. And I'm not saying this, I'm saying this actually, let me not even say what I'm not saying it. I'm saying this to teach you that you can actually start something that has never been done before in the world. You can start. That's the power of your personal brand. That's the power of your own magnetic brilliance. So you can. Don't let anything hold you back or stop. You can do something that has never been done in your country, in your region, in your state, in the world, in your industry. So I need you to think. Branding is for differentiation. Branding is for you to stand out. So you can't take a class here, even if this is not everything that you're going to learn about branding. It's not possible that you're going to learn this in 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours. You will learn everything, but you will learn enough, and I'm sure you've already learned, to move you to get started. So you need to have a brand launch. So that means you're going to announce and introduce your brand, bring your brand alive, make it come alive in the marketplace. So to launch your brand, like a normal launch of a magazine or of a hotel or of something, you're going to have a date. So I need you to set a date that you're going to launch your brand. For you to launch your brand, you need to have your brand, some of your brand assets ready. Your logo, your website. Now, you can be launching your personal brand, or you can be using your personal brand to launch your business or company brand. If you're building your company, a company brand, it is you, a human being, the personal brand that will launch it. It's not an animal. It's not an inanimate object. It is you. So if you're launching your if you're using that style, you want to bring in a business brand or a product brand, you're using your personal brand, then it's fine. You can do that. So create all the assets for the business or for the company brand, and then launch it. You launching it as your personal brand, as your expert brand, especially if you are doing the same thing like your business is doing. Right? So you're going to be launching yours as well, or launching you as a personal brand. The reason for a launch is to get awareness, is to create brand awareness so that more people can know you, because you're going to be making a lot of noise on that day. You'll be generating buzz. So set a date for your launch. Have your visuals all ready for your launch. Flyers, okay? Billboards, if you're going to use those. Radio, if you're going to use those. Paid advertising online, Facebook or Instagram, if you're going to use those. You can also have a webinar done on that day. Have a launch. Let people come together and experience your launch and know about you and what you do. If you put a proper launch together, and when you do, people are going to, you can get customers on that day of your brand launch. So your date, put it together even today. Set a date for your launch. It could be next month. Put all your things together, your assets together, your website, if you can, put it together. Your logo, your name, your photo shoot, get professional photos done. Don't just come up showing anyhow online. This is your digital asset. So put a professional photo session together and bring your photos out there one after the other. Launch your brand right there on social media. Create the flyer and say 13th of April, um, Christy Ogundele. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me just use anything. Let me use myself. Right? So create a flyer and say on the 13th of April, the Emily Wale-Koya brand launch right here on Instagram. You will go live. You can use live. You can use the Instagram live feature to go live. Let people come. Tell them to invite their friends like a real launch. Give out something. Have a freebie that you can give out that's going to cost them to come. Maybe put a competition together. All is to mark your brand launch. Let it be something that generates buzz for you. I'm sure this is clear. Okay? So now I want us to craft your $1 million brand statement. Okay, your $1 million brand statement. And so a brand statement basically is a powerful and unique sentence that answers what you are best at, which is the value you bring, who you serve, which is the audience, and how you do it uniquely, which is your USP. Okay, your unique selling. Now we don't say selling anymore, we say your unique serving proposition. All right, how you're proposing to be valuable or serve us. So this is an example. Instead of saying Fumi is a boutique owner, which is normal, they ask you, who are you? You will just say, I'm a boutique owner, I'm a teacher, I'm a year 5 teacher, I'm a skincare therapist. Instead of saying that, because that's lame and that's what everybody in your industry that does what you do would say. So instead of saying that, you want to say full me styles women to look and feel their best in any shape, color, and size. So when they ask you, who are you? What do you do? Oh, I style women to look and feel their best in any shape, color, and size. So let's look at this example, which is really cool. So instead of saying John is a boiler man or John sells water heaters, right? We rather would say John keeps families warm through bespoke heating installations using only the most advanced boilers. Okay, so John keeps families warm. That is the value John brings, warm, through bespoke heating installations. All right, that's how he does it, using only the most advanced, unique German boilers. That is invoking. When somebody meets John and asks him, "What do you do?" Instead of John to just say, I sell water heaters, which is not a big deal. John can turn it around. I keep families warm through my bespoke heating installations using only the most advanced German heaters. So I want you to craft yours now. So I'm going to go personal with you guys now. And for those who are going to be buying this replay, my baby's crying. I have a 4-month-old baby. Okay, she's 5 tomorrow, 5 months. So she needs to be nursed. I need to breastfeed her, and she's crying. She's been crying for a while, so I'm gonna go get her. But we're still here, okay? So I need us to craft this. We're close to rounding up anyway. I need us to craft this. John keep families. John keep families warm. So okay, John's audience are families. All right. Warm is the value that John brings or that he brings to the table. And then he does this through bespoke heating installations using only the most advanced German boilers. That is his USP. That is how unique he does what he does. Bespoke heating installations using only the most advanced German boilers. So I want you to craft yours right now using this example. So I'm going to wait for you. If you have questions on it, you can ask. Okay, so let me read that again so that it goes on into the recording. Christy Ogundele keeps middle-aged and older women beautiful, young, and confident using the safest, luxurious, skincare products. So Christy, I love the safest part. I love the luxurious skincare product, but I need you to include one word or two or a phrase that makes this whole thing vavavoom. This is your mission, your brand mission statement. This is it encapsulates, all right, what you do, who you do it for, how you do it, why you're the go-to person for this, why you're the best at it, why anybody should care. It encapsulates the entire value promise of your brand. So you keep middle-aged and older women beautiful. I need us to replace the word beautiful with something stronger. I need us to replace it. So instead of saying maybe aged and older women, beautiful, young, and confident, maybe we can say it reverses the age or skin of older women or something. Chris said this is just an example. Okay. Yeah. I will need to work with you one on one if I'm going to be able to help you, on the long run. But in a nutshell, and for this class, this is the general view I can give to you. And I hope you understand me and you can use that to create something. All right, so someone else says, I provide comfort and luxury to home seekers at the best prices. Princess, that's a good one. So you're into real estate or something? Princess, you're into real estate? Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's a good one. Comfort and luxury to home seekers at the best prices. So to home seekers, that's fine. You may also want to define the home seekers. Are they first time Mars? Are they couples? Are they families of 5, 6, 7? You may just want to. It depends on you. If you don't want to, you can leave it as home seekers. But who's the best person that you want to serve? Who's the best person that needs what you are actually putting together? What you're offering? Who's the best? Who's the best in one word? Who is the best? Would this be families? Would this be employees or employers? Who would this be? Right? So if you want to niche, you can go that way, or you can just keep it as home seekers in general. And I hope, and Princess, this actually makes sense. Treasure employs the best tools and best practices to offer solutions to businesses that lack structure, simply to help them assess support for scaling. All right, so Treasure, this is fine. That word simply, you may want to remove it there. No simply in this. No simply in this. We don't want no simply here. We want to use another A strong word. Hmm? A strong word. So if somebody asks you, what do you do, treasure? What do you do? So you're going to say, treasure, oh, I employ the best tools and best practices to offer solutions to businesses that lack structure, that lack structure, so that they can access support for scaling, that lack structure, that lack structure. So treasure, you will still work on this, okay? This is not the final outcome. This is just the first trial. Upon listening to this, so I'm sure you have never created anything like this before. So it's a good start. You want to work on it again. All right. Okay. So in the absence of any other, all right, you're welcome, treasure. Good. So this is how you can create your mission, your brand mission statement. Okay, you state the audience you serve, that's the people you serve. You state the value you bring, and then you state how you do it, which is your unique serving proposition. How you do it. So John does it through bespoke heating. Bespoke. We all know what bespoke heating installations, okay, using only the most advanced German boilers. So when you take this class again, and when you access the replay, you should be able to recreate yours. V Wigs makes custom wigs and luxurious hair very affordable that the lowest class in the society isn't left out in the beauty world. Wow. Wow. V Wig, you just made this now. You just did this now. That's really good. That's wonderful. For a first try, that's amazing. That's really good. That's really good because it states who you're serving, the lowest class. It states the value you bring, making luxurious hair affordable. Fantastic. Fantastic. Luxurious wigs affordable, custom wigs affordable to the lowest class in the society isn't left a bit right. So sorry. Sorry. All right. So that's my baby. She's saying hi to you guys. All right. So so Vivix, that's really good. That's really good. So, but I'm just wondering that the lowest class in the society, I'm just wondering what you mean by the lowest class. Who is the lowest class? And why are you going to the lowest class to sell your wigs to? Would that help you in any way? Would your business be profitable in any way if you do that? Right? Who is the lowest class? You need to define who that lowest class is, right? You need to define who that lowest class is, and you should know what they can afford, and you should know how that would help your business as well. So I hope what I just said makes sense. But your description is good. You're going to try it again. This is the first one. All right. So this is how you can create a mission brand statement. Like I said, okay, good, Vivix. So let's move on. So now I want you to craft your mission dollar brand tagline. All right, your tagline are 3 to 5 words that describe what you do and the value that you bring. 3 to 5 words that describe what you do and the value that you bring. So I put some examples for us here. So these are taglines of companies that we know. Life is good. I'm sure we already know who that is. Can we try? Can somebody quickly tell me who's going to be the first? Life is good. What company is that? Life is good. I'm going to count up to 3. If I don't get a feedback, we move on. Life is good. What company is that? Yes, Treasure, LG. Yes, I did. Okay, LG. Yes. You see LG. That's actually the meaning of LG. Life's good. That's the meaning of LG. Life, and it's also their their tagline. Life is good. They just explain it. So your even when you're building a business brand or you're naming a business, okay, you can use 3 words or a short phrase. A phrase like a sentence, right? So you can use a short phrase, words that are not related to each other in any way. It must not be one word, it must not be 2 words. It can be a short phrase. I am coming, like she leads Africa. That's like you talking to somebody and say she leads Africa. And that's the name of the company, that's the name of the business, that's the name of the brand. So that can also work. So this is LG's tagline, life is good, 3 words. All right, just do it. Can we try that again? For those of us that are already, can we try that again? Just do it. Who is that? A Nike. Yes, Treasure. Got it. So Nike is just do it. Yes, Carol. Nike. Yeah, Kaka. Kaka, you spoke. I've not seen you say anything. You've not said anything since we started. Now you have spoken. Good for you. All right. So, all right. So Kaka, thank you so much. Oh, okay. Great. All right. So then we have taste the feeling. Who is that? If you get this one, if you get this one, let me not speak before my time. You guys got it. Carol got it. All right, so that's Coca-Cola. Yes, taste the feeling. See, branding is so wait. It's a lot of work. That's why you must start today. Today, you must start today, not tomorrow. You must start. Imagine if you had started 5 years ago or 10 years ago. Do you think you would just be starting now? No, you would have been known. You would have been known. People would have been coming to you as the go-to person for what you do. Just like people come to me for personal branding as the go-to person. And when I chat, they don't go, "What? Who is she? Who are you?" So people still do that anyway, but right. So taste the feeling. That's Coca-Cola. Now this last one, nobody's gonna get it. The ultimate driving machine. Who is that? If you get this one, you are a brand strategist, and I need to certify you, or you need to certify me. The ultimate driving machine. Just before you go on Google to go and check, I'm gonna tell you. Anybody? I'm gonna count three. Yeah, right. Carol Caterpillar. Lamborghini. You guys are, this is a recording. You guys are not serious. Oh my God. The caterpillar. Yeah, all right. So the ultimate driving machine, that's the tagline for BMW. That's the tagline for BMW. And you can see each of these brands, they live their tagline, they live their mission, they live why they're here, they live the value that they bring into the world. They don't just say that the ultimate driving machine and then that's it, they just do anyhow. No, BMW, you know that car is a fantastic car. You know already. LG life's good. LG wants you to sit down in your house and watch TV and press the remote and enjoy yourself. Coca-Cola too, the same thing. Taste the feeling, and truly, it's in the taste. You taste it, you want more Coke. Even when they told us Coke can kill us, we still keep drinking it. So these brands live their brands, and I want you to do the same thing with your brand. I want you to live your brand. I want you to breathe your brand. I want you to wear your brand. I want you to talk your brand, promote your brand. Like it's all that you have because that's why it's your personal brand. It's all that you have. It's you. It's an embodiment and an extension of you, who you are, your brilliance, your purpose, your mission, your energy, and everything else. So, very important. All right. So for personal brands, those ones we shared now were for business brand, company brand. For personal brand, so you can see content marketing evangelist. So when you hear Emily Wale-Koya, for example, you can see that I can just tell you in 3 words, I'm a content marketing evangelist. So you can, for personal brands, this is another one, empowering ridiculously good marketing. So this person is a marketer, and this is how she's creating her or using her tagline. So the way you use your tagline, you can use it together with your name. So you can have your name, Christy Ogundele, or Christy or Debbie, right? You can have the or Caro, Cario. You can have, I'm not sure I pronounce that word either. So you can have the or Kaka. You can have that, and then you can have your tagline under it. So you see LG Life's Good is under it. You see BMW, sometimes you're going to see the ultimate driving machine. You see Coca-Cola, sometimes you're going to see taste the feeling. You see Nike always has theirs there. Just do it. It's their entire logo. Just do it, right? And that's why they give you that pass mark. The logo goes with the tagline. They give you just do it. You've already gotten it. That's passed. Just go, right? So the same thing with you. So if your tagline to have gig, have marketing, 100% social not, that's one person's tagline. That's one person's tagline. You want your tagline to stand out. You want it to command attention. All right. So, and then this other one, so good can't be ignored. Now, this is one of my tagline. So when you hear Emily Wale-Koya or Emily Speaks Life, you will see that there as well. So good can't be ignored. And I leave my brand. You can't experience me at your event or your company training at your company or a conference or in your church when I come to speak, or you can't coach with me and not say this about me. I live this. I'm so good at what I do. I can't be ignored. You want me in your corner every second. So this is how I was able to create my tagline. So you can do the same thing. What are the 3 words or 2 words that can describe, or one phrase that can describe the embodiment of your brand? Quickly, whenever somebody thinks about it, they just remember, they just know what you stand for and what you can do for them, right? So you want to think about them, then you want to create yours. Now your brand tagline is for the outside world. Okay, your brand promise, on the other hand, is for your organization. All right, so this is where you're going to create your own brand tagline. Let's try something. Okay, let's put something together. So share with me what you have as a brand tagline, something you've already put together. It must not be that as you go home, as you take this class again, or you go through the workshop replay, you may come up with something. You may come up with something else. I think so that people can hear. All right, so let me go back to see. Um, all right, skincare for the love of beauty. So skincare for, can we hear? Can you guys hear me? Skincare for the love of beauty. Skincare for the love of beauty. That's fine, but it can be stronger than that. It can be stronger than that. Wigs. So when you say V wigs, right? You can now say wig giant slayer. Nah, Victoria, that's not gonna work. Victoria, that's not gonna pass. Okay. So Victoria, you have to change that. You gotta work on it. Um, let me see something else. If I miss yours, please forgive me. My business is about training teachers. Tagline is harnessing potential inspiring learners. You may want to work on that. It's not strong enough. Tony is not strong enough. So branding is not something you just get off your whim. You know, you have spent time, but this is just for us to test and just so that I'm sure we're getting on along properly. All right. Business support. Your business about business support. Let's get bigger. That's fine. That can work, but you need to rework it because you just got this right here. Slay on the go. Victoria, feel at home. Princess, that's real estate, right? Feel at home. Try something else. It's okay, but just try something else. Try something stronger. So one of the assignments I'm going to give to you guys is to go online and type your niche, what you do, and then tagline and see what they have out there. You can't copy somebody's own. No, you are a strong brand. You are a powerhouse. You're a respectable brand, so you can't copy. I'm only saying go and get inspired. That's all. All right? You get inspired if you keep an open mind. I provide administrative support to businesses so they can focus on their key area of competence, top notch business support. Remove top notch from there, put something else. Ridiculously good business support. Ha 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 ho 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 ho. See that word? Ridiculously? It's really cool. They're gonna go, I provide ridiculously good business support to business owners. If you introduce yourself like that, that's gonna get you attention. Seriously. I did I just gave you something, use it. No need to think about it twice. Use it. All right. Please, can taglines be a 2-letter word? Yes, yes, yes. Can be 2, can be 3. Didn't you saw the ones I read out to us now? The ultimate driving machine. That's 4 words. Um, what else did we talk about? And then for personal brands, you saw the ones empowering ridiculously good marketing. That's 4 words. And that's plenty word. Empowering, plenty. How many syllables are there? Ridiculously has how many syllables? 4 or 5. Marketing has 4. So that's plenty words, right? So it can be more than 1 word. It can be 1 word. It can be 2. It can be a phrase. See, mine is there. Emily Wale-Koya, so good, can't be ignored. And that's because, so anything that I create has to be so good, people can ignore it. Even when I make a phone, even when I decide to make a tote bag, even when I decide to make a face cap, it's going to my tagline. Your tagline is the summary of your whole brand in 1 word or 1 phrase, right? Is the value that you bring to the table in everything that you do. Please, okay, I read it already. Name of business, house of decor. Yeah, interior decor. Tagline: one-stop decor center. Nah, you guys can't be giving me this after being branded. Nah, it's not gonna work. You can't give me one-stop decor center. No, it's already out there. I don't even need to have seen it. I know it's already out there because it's too cheap to use. It's too cheap. It's too common. It's too everyday-ish. So you can't use it. You can't use it. You got to spend time. You should be You should be on your toes to make this. You want to do something that is unique, that can cut through the noise. Oh my goodness. You want to do something that can cut through the noise. Get your branding right so that you don't struggle with marketing, with getting people to pay you. We want to build something that is extraordinary, that can outlive us. So we can't just do anyhow. Vaughn, all right, Fresh View Foods, PVS. Fresh View Foods. Fresh View Foods. So Havila, that's the name of your business now, not your tagline. That's the name of your business. That's not the name of your tagline. That's the name of your business. Why don't you just say Fresh Foods? What does view have to do there? Fresh Foods or something. Let's not use what's already been overused. Hearing you, okay, treasure is hearing me. Skincare, reverse your age. Good, good. This is the best offer tonight. Whoa, Christiana, good. You're a good girl. Christiana, good. You got it because this is in line with your who, your what, your why that you've been sharing with me so far. You've been one person that has been sharing relentlessly tonight. Really good. Reverse your age, reverse your age, or look 10 times younger, or look younger, or something. But this is it. This is good. You can rework it, you can make it really nicer, really stronger. But this is good. This is the best so far. Christina, well done. I'm not saying you guys are not trying. You're good, but I changed it to Slay on the Go. Who is this? V Weeks, right? Slay on the Go. It's not bad. It's not bad. V Week. This is for weeks, right? You can just say make heads turn. Ah, see, you should pay me extra for this. I just give you a tagline off my head or from top of my head. Make heads turn, or make heads turn in your way. Make heads turn. Let's keep it short. Don't you guys think that's really good? People should pay me extra money because that's really good. Make heads turn. V wigs. Make heads turn. Oh my god. V wigs, you owe me. If you don't pay, well, it's gonna be trouble. All right, let's see. What's there? Okay, so I think we're gonna wrap up here now. Kaka, child educator, raising purpose-driven leaders. That's good. Kaka, run with this. All right, you're a child educator. That's what your brand is about. That's good. Oh my God, I'm coming right back. My battery is going there. Oh dear, this would have been disastrous. All right, so Kaka, yes, that's fine. Oh yeah. Okay, so let me take one more. So let's see. Helen, did you get mine? I think I did. Christiana, reverse your age. Yeah, that's good. Um, Victoria, no, I don't know you love me. Send me more money. That's all I need to know. That's the love I need right there. Fresh food, never miss home. That's good. 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 So you're making food that people, this is what it means if you say never miss home. It means you're making food that is so fresh, is homemade. People are not going to miss home if they eat your food and when they eat your food. That's good. My business, Vaniela. Oh no. Oh no.